Okay, everyone, so let's get started shading in our different forms, starting with our cube. The first step is to lay down a base layer with your charcoal and blend it out with the palm of your hand. Then trace over the outlines using your charcoal. If these outlines disappear, don't worry, you can always resketch. The advantage of using the charcoal to sketch and adding the background is that when you make mistakes, you can simply blend the lines into that background, as you saw me do for the cast shadow. Next, plot down the core shadow, that's the shadow on the object, using your charcoal, and blend it with the blending stump. Notice that as I blend, I'm incorporating the outlines into my core shadow. Next, add just a little bit of charcoal to your midtone and blend out with the blending stump. Again, I use my finger for large areas and my blending stump for small areas. We want to see a distinct difference between the two sides. Remember, be sure that I can see the contrast at the corner. Finally, we're going to lighten the top of our the top of our cube by erasing the highlight back in. Now you can erase with either the pencil top eraser or the kneaded eraser. But notice how when we use the kneaded eraser, there is no pencil crumb or pencil shavings. I recommend using the kneaded eraser. Finally, it's time to add our cast shadow. Cast shadows start dark near the object and fade as they go away. This is one of the most common problems I see on charcoal still life drawings. So again, look for those transitions of value. Remember, we want to draw what we see, not what we know. Our final stage is touch-ups, darkening the shadows to create a lovely contrast, lightening highlights, touching up edges. What I'm looking for is a distinct difference between our highlight, midtone, core shadow, and cast shadow. So let's review all of those steps as we shade in our cone. Step number 1. We want to lightly erase any guidelines that we see. This includes our T's. We don't need those anymore. Add the background and blend it out using your palm. Sketch or redraw the lines using your core shadow. Blend out the midtone using a blending stump. Erase the highlight back in with a kneaded eraser. Soften the transition between the midtone and the core shadow. Add in that cast shadow. Remember, dark near the object fades as it goes away. And then finally, we blend the outline into either the object or the shadow behind the object, whichever area is darker. Stay tuned as I complete this process for both the sphere and the cylinder. This is like a formula. All of these can apply to our object. All of these steps apply to whatever the shape of the object is. Simply look for ways to eliminate the outlines, look for the highlights, look for the core shadows, and you'll have those realistic looking objects. You notice that when I blend out the outlines, I use a combination of both my finger and the blending stump. Remember, the goal is smooth transitions, not dark halos around our objects. And here we have it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And good luck!